So good morning, everybody. It's 7:30 Eastern Time. You are watching Bosch Trading. And I'm just gonna see what's going on here on this Bank of America. Look at this. Very slowly grinding up. So if you're a swing trader, then this just might be your cup of tea to do this. For day trading, and I'm a day trader, that's not something that you want to see. I saw Dare going up this morning. This is 6 o'clock. This happened at 6 o'clock. All the way up here, it's a small stock, as you can see. Tried to get to this 220 mark. Got there also, but just 220. Failing, trying to get above VWAP, failing. So this is a play. Anything above 220 will be something that I'm interested in for there. 220, yeah. Sila. Don't pay any attention to what I'm doing here. So you can see here that this is my simulated account. But just drag stuff out sometimes here. Like shorting this high, for example. Going long in this high, for example, then it's not the smartest thing to do, as you can see here. But so if you go in this peak here, then 9 of 10 times what happens here is something like this. But then this happened here. So you just might want to go in this one again if it gets above this $3 mark. But a little hesitant doing that. Also looking at DTST. New stock, this is happening. So this is a secondary runner, but can you still get in here? Can you still jump on this bus here? So it jumped up here from the start. Then it looked like it would fade, like all those smaller stocks seem to do. So data storage also looked like it did that, but here at 7 o'clock, when a lot of trading platforms open, so 7 o'clock is your peak, and then later on at 8 o'clock there's this other peak, just jumped again and got above this high here. So you're really looking at something that you want to buy into strength, because the only thing that you want to see now is a continuation of this one. There are no levels here whatsoever, so you really have to look at this one and make it a price action trades, because well, there are no levels. So this is just opportunistic playing and opportunistic price action play that you want to do here. Okay, when I say price action, what do I mean by that? So what stocks sometimes do, and let's take just this one, ONCS, for example, on a 5-minute. That's not a great one, of course, because you need a big mover space, for example. So this is space on a 15-minute chart. We traded space here, and not exactly on price action, of course, but we knew that this 44.85 was an area that might find some kind of support. And support is not always just this exact line. So this is support and that's it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That's not what it is. It just filled this gap, of course, yesterday. So that's something that you have to see if you're trading something like this. Just get this out of the way. So there's this enormous gap here, if you can see that. And this is actually the day before. And we saw here on the day before that it looked like it wanted to hold on to this area here. So this is really, you might think this is an exact line here. 40.81, 44.83, 44.91, 44.91. So it sits there on this on that level that we just saw here, and then this happened. This is really what happened yesterday. So fell down here, and then got up again. And when it got above this level, then this is the entry that you want to have. But that's not what I wanted to show you right now. What I wanted to show you is price action. And this is just the nice example of this one. So what you see here on this chart here, zoom in a little bit more. What you see here on this chart, this is the price action that you want to be in if you are long buyers on this one. So after the fact, it's always nice to see that this happened, but trading on price action is nothing more than determining if the next low here is going to be higher than this low. And well, you don't know that. If this candle was here, then this looks promising because it's kind of a hammer, of course. And then the next one that opens here is might be your way in if it just stays above this level here right now. And then you're trading this on price action because you're thinking, okay, if it's trading above this one, then at least it's going to make a new high here, and hopefully also a new higher low and a higher high. So you can, after you see a hammer like this, then you can say, okay, I'm going to get in here when there's a new high and then trade it upwards. If a stock moves like this, here on this, what you can see here. If a stock moves like this, then you cannot trade it. Can you see that? because it's just sitting there, and you need at least something like you saw here. This is a move, and then this is after the fact move. So this looks very nice. Oh, you should have gone in here, but you know, it's very difficult. But if stock moves like this, then you just have a lot of trouble in trading something like this, because you want to see it go up or you want to see it go down. So if you're shorting a stock, then this is just the price action you want. So all these highs are lower highs and these lows are lower lows. So just going down, like this one is going up. So what you are looking for is going up or going down based on higher highs and higher lows. And so when the stock moves up, normally this is what's happening. This is what's happening if a stock goes up. I think everybody agrees with that this is something that you want to see in a stock if you are long bias, at least, and I am, as you know. So the difficulty now for everybody who starts trading, and I know because I was in this trap also, everybody who starts trading has this idea, the stock is going up, so I have to buy it. Do you recognize that? I think that you do. So this is normal how a stock trades on a normal day if everything is normal and goes slowly up. This is exceptional what's happening here. And this is also kind of exceptional. So there are no, you can see that here there are no lows here. So there's always difficult to get to say, okay, I'm going to get in here. No, I'm going to get in here. No, I'm going to get in here. That's very difficult to see. So you have to recognize this pattern that you can see here. And what happens 9 out of 10 times is that people buy here. So they do, stock goes up. Well, let me say they buy here at this point here, just before the top. That's the way our brain is programmed. So you have to deprogram your brain before you can really do some price action trading. So we don't know any levels. We want to trade on price action. So this one's going up and you're going to buy here. They say this is where the dumb money comes in. So everybody who's a beginner trader and buys here, they're saying, okay, beginner traders are coming in. They're buying, it goes up a little bit, of course, because everybody's buying here. And then the big guys and experienced guys are going to sell this one right here, make the profit because they were in right here. And then this is the waiting for the dumb money. So what you don't want to buy here. What you want to do, you want to be in this trend here. What you want to do is you want to find this next low. So you want to buy here. And if you want to buy there, then there's something that you have to do is drawing an intraday line. So you see me drawing all these lines just in advance, of course, because it's a pre-market show, so we want to see what's happening. But on a stock like this here, you can see that's, if you want to see it, then you can, but it's not as picture perfect as I draw here, drew here. So I'm going to try to reproduce this. So this is what I'm seeing right here. When I look at the stock or at the graph, this is what I'm seeing. And this is always the first thing that I see. So this here is a stock and how it moves like a textbook. So this is how it looks like when everything is perfect and you buy it here. But if a stock moves like this, like it often does, but it's because this is just too nice to be true. Where do you buy it here if there are no levels? So this is something that you want to know, of course. Where do you buy it here if there are no levels? So when I move this, then you move this also. So what you want to do here is at least try to draw, if you're not that experienced, what you want to do the first time is try to see some kind of a line here, because otherwise you're just trading in the blind. So you see that there is an upward trend here, more or less. It has difficulties in getting new highs here. So this is what you can see here, that say all the time when I do the videos is this high is higher than this high. Let's say that it's a new high. This high is higher than this high. You can see that obviously. This high here is higher than this high. So there's your upward trend here. And for the lows, you want to see the same thing. So this low, high low. This is a high low. This is a high low. And so on. So this is picture perfect. Now look at this. This is a stock that's trading for real. But this is what we see. We see this trend line here. We try to picture this and we see that, okay, this low that we see here, this low, here, is higher than this low here. You see that? So even though it's not picture perfect, it's still a trend that you can recognize here. And this high is also low. If this low is also higher than this low. So even though this is not picture perfect, you can still recognize higher lows in this, although it is not like it's in the textbooks. So if you want to be a friend of the trend, and this is an intraday trend, and we did not establish any levels on this one, and I'm telling you in the early bird show, with this one on price action. You really have to know what you're doing. So this is price action. This is trend, of course. And the price action index tells you where to buy this. So if you draw this line here, then you see that this trend is really something that you may rely on. So this is now an intraday trend, so that you can see here in post-market and pre-market, I'm sorry, part of post-market, part of pre-market. I'm going to draw this one again, so stay with me. So we know what we drew here, of course. So oh. And we see this trend also occurring here. Something like this. So you want to buy it here. And this is not picture perfect, so please bear with me for this one. So where do you want to buy it now? This is the high here, just against VWAP, so that's a level for you, and it's an intraday level, but it's a level nevertheless, and it's a big level. If this was a 1 minute, it is not, so it's a 15 minute, but let's say that this is the 1 minute, then this is the trend, comes up here, goes down, and then maybe a little bit up here. What you want to do right now is that you want to buy this one somewhere here in this low part here. So you want to buy this around here if you're thinking, okay, but after this circle, then you don't know what's going to happen because, well, now we know that this happened, but it just might easily go something like this. So you don't know that. If you are here, then you don't know what's going to happen here. So you just can say, okay, you have to buy it here. But what you want to know is that you just buy it just before it gets up again. So this is the point that you want to buy it. But you are really concerned about the fact that it just might do something like this, because this trend line here, you don't know this if you are here. So do you understand that, everybody? I hope you do. So this one goes up, goes down. Don't buy it here. We established that. You want to buy it here, of course. But if you buy it here, then you don't know what this is going to do. This is what we didn't know now, that it's going to do this. So this is what we know, of course, now that it's going to do this. But you don't know that if you are here buying this here. So everybody telling you that this is the right spot. Well, it is the right spot, of course. But, and now when you draw this line, and you might just see it. I'm going to put this one a little bit up so it's more clear. I'm really sorry about drawing here. So this, like, let's say this is a spot, so it comes down and then you're buying it. So that seems very odd, of course. But you don't know what's going on here if this really will be another trend up. So you want to buy it here, but if you pull this line through, then you can say, okay, wait a minute. I want to buy it here. I cannot because I don't know what's going on. This just might happen. If you just then wait a little while, and I told you many times, it's sometimes is a waiting game. It's now at the exact level as the ideal position that you were in here. So this was the ideal position here. Because the stock is going down and you want to buy a stock that goes down, you buy the dip. Maybe do you remember that? This was the ideal position to buy it, just a little bit downward, and then buy it to the upside. Nobody buys it exactly on this point, except if you're brilliant or very lucky. But you just can wait a little bit and then it goes down and then you buy it here. And that's what you see here in trends like this. So this one goes down. This is your ideal buying position here. The stock does something like this. You cannot buy it here because you don't know if it goes down here. And this trend line is something that you then do not see at that point. But when it just seems to slip on you, then you buy it on the other side of the dip. And what you ideally want to do, I'm just gonna, it's my washing machine again, if you can hear that. Like this video if you find this educating, please. So hit that like for me. Otherwise, I'm sitting here and explaining stuff that you already know. I really doubt that sometimes, but hit that like if you want, please. So, or leave a comment. Clear all drawings here. Oh, already did that. No likes, guys. Come on. I'm trying to explain something, and if you don't like it, then I'm going to quit it. So give me those likes, and otherwise, let's call it a day. Takes 1 minute of your time, like always. And if you want to practice what I just showed you, if you are a master at this, then that's just great, and you don't have to educate yourself anymore. But I educated myself every day. Every day, I'm still educating myself. So now let's look at one of the stocks on the list here. I got a comment this morning. Okay, I did go long, but it was my biggest loss. Well, you always should put in a stop loss. This stock, MRVI, can move $1.66. It's a $40 stock. There's no volume in this one whatsoever. And well, let's look at the hourly here. So 140 million float here, so that's just good enough. And this does not really trade with a lot of volume, but if you are just starting out trading, that is just fine for you. So it doesn't have to go that quick. So 160,000 shares traded in an hour. So if you want to trade something like this, then it's not going very fast or anything, and it's not going to be fancy, and you're not going to shout and scream about it. What you want to see here on a stock like this is just that it falls down, hits this level here. Thank you for that like, whoever gave it to me. And so this is something that you want to see here, because otherwise it's just this is the level that you want to see. This is not a fast moving stock, so you just want to see this movement to the downside here. You want to see that it hits this level right here. And if you just remember what we talked about just now, so it hits this level here, and now there are two ways here of getting in here. So this is, you can just say, okay, I'm very confident about this level. I'm gonna put in an order right here. Just above this 39 level here. So I'm gonna put in an order right here, 39.02. And set an alerts, 39.02. so that I know that I'm really in. So this is now green. I'm getting in here at the 3902. This is the support that I expect, 38.95. And then you want to give it some room, maybe then to 38.83. That's here. That's your stop loss. So if your play does not work, then you're going to get out here. You put a stop loss in here because otherwise you're going to lose a lot of money. And what you're aiming for is a reversal long play. And the stupidest thing that you can do is that you just stay in there. So this is what you're expecting. Comes down. So you really have to have a play in mind before you do anything. So it comes down on you here, and I trade a lot of reversal longs because I know this play by heart, and that's why I'm more successful at this and not too a big shorter. So it comes down and then comes up again, and then comes up again like this, and you're getting out here and plays over. But it's not as simple as that. So if it was just like this, then it would be easy, wouldn't it? So you're in here at 3902. Yeah? You're in here at 3902. Your stop loss is here 38.83. Yeah? So what you're saying here, that you are willing to risk 20 cents risk. Yeah, this is 20 cent risk here that you want to take. You're going to in at 3902 and you're going to get out at 38.82. So if you're taking a 20 cent risk on a stock like this, so like if you buy a $100 and you're taking $20 risk, for example, and if you're buying 1,000 and you have 200 risk about CSIs, I'm going to talk to you about that later, but this is what you want to see here right now is that this is 20 cents risk, and what I do, and that's my rule, this is 3902, and then I set my target. So I'm going to get in here at 3902 and I'm going to get out at 3962. And why do I do that? That's simple. This is 60 cents. So I'm putting in 20 cents here, 20 cents here, to make 60 cents. Yes? So I'm putting a 1-to-3 ratio, and that's what I want to do on all my plays, because in an ideal world, this will happen. It comes down nicely, but an ideal world does not exist. You know that by now. Comes down nicely, hits this level, you're in here right now, comes up again, you get out here. Yeah? But life is not that simple. So what's going to happen is, of course, that here at this 40 level, for example, you're going to find some kind of resistance. So this is going to happen here, because the ideal world does not exist. We saw that just on the other example. So something like this is going to happen. So now you're in with 20 cents and you're thinking, okay, I want to have 62 cents, but it's obvious that it does not get above this 45 cents. I'm going to take my 45 cents to my 40 cents. Then I still have a 1-to-2 ratio and I'm still okay. putting 20 cents on a line to make 40 cents, to make 60 cents. And if I'm making 40, then I'm still okay too. So that's why you do a 1-to-3 ratio. So you can get out at 1-to-4. What you also can do is that you get out at 75% here at this level, and then let all the rest run to this to this higher point, and then you make a little bit more than a 1-to-2 ratio. Okay, guys and girls, please hit the like if you like these kind of videos. So not always tickers. You can see all the tickers that I talk about in the early bird show, but this is just something that I wanted to share with you because I see a lot of people who email me and say, okay, you said that you had to go long here, and I did, and I stayed in it, and I have a big loss. So don't do that. Make sure that if the play does not work, then you're out and go to the next play. Okay, guys, that's all. Thanks for watching. Hit that like if you like this video, and be sure that you watch this again tomorrow. I'm going to be back at 4 a.m. Eastern time. That's 10 o'clock Amsterdam time with the early bird show. And after that, I'm also back for this Bosch Training Show, which is going to be a little bit more technical and people asking questions. Well, you didn't ask any questions right now, but that's okay. We are going to be here again at 1:30 Amsterdam time, that's 7:30 Eastern time. Thanks for sharing, thanks for watching, and see you all tomorrow.